Welcome in to Remedial Adventuring 401, a new real play TTRPG podcast. I'm Adam Souza, and I will be your guide through this fantastical journey as your DM. Prepare for an epic tale with 6 adventurers, each bearing the weight of their past failures from their original parties. Now thrown together in the remedial class, they're on a quest for redemption and their elusive adventuring license in the captivating realm of Alorium. So, gather around the virtual table, wield your dice, and brace for a tale of second chances, daring escapades, and the pursuit of greatness amidst setbacks. Welcome to Remedial Adventuring 401, where new legends emerge from failure. So last time, you guys had gone to the Masquerade party, and you had done a little bit of trying to figure out the PC version of espionage, but you didn't really do espionage, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. But the night ended ultimately well, and you had left off speaking with the chairwoman who had given you the quest, and she basically said something along the lines of like, oh, I just need to quantify the effect that you had so that we can give you the appropriate amount of points, whether it's a D level or a C level, depending on how you interacted with people.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of that, you had gone back and went to the inn, or the hotel rather, to sleep. Everybody had a good rest. What I would like to start off with is from Hollybrook. As per usual, sleeping. Give me a religion check, please. Hey. All right, with a nat 20.
Your God allows sleep.
Within that 20, you basically are having lucid dreaming. So it's like, you know you're dreaming, you recognize the flame, you're like, oh, this is part of my religion. Or not part of my religion, but it's important and it's religious. So you have a little bit of time to move. Literally all that's happening right now is you are in a black space. You are presumably standing on a surface, but there's no walls or ceiling or anything that you can see. It's just black, and then there's a blue flame just in front of you. How would you like to interact?
While we're like reaching out to it, I go, hello? Anybody here?
With your nat 20 religion, you will get a response, but what I would like is a persuasion check to see what type of response you're going to get.
Crap.
Okay, with 5. It's interesting because
no solicitors, go home.
In life, you know how echoes work, and you basically hear your own voice come back at you, but it's not coming from as like an echo. The pause is for too long and it's too clear. So it almost sounds like you are on the other side of that fire talking to you as well. And all it just said, it just repeats it. You said hello, and it says hello.
Are you me?
The voice replies, "You're me."
Oh.
Who's the real zombie priest then? Maybe you're the shadow. Oh no, the zombie priest is having a dream and we're all inside it.
This whole world is inside a snow globe.
I reach out and just kind of touch the flame.
Okay. You reach out, and because of your nat 20, the flame becomes brilliant and it becomes blinding to you, and that's what wakes you up. But when you wake up, you've woken up with inspiration. So you have 1 inspiration that you can use during this session.
Oh, interesting.
So at any point, if you roll something and you're like, oh, that was bad, but it was also really important, you could use your inspiration to re-roll.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we know that'll come in handy with me.
But at this point, all of you have awakened. It is the next morning. It's relatively early, but not like ass crack of dawn either. It's maybe like 8, and you have the day. Now, you know that the woman had told you that her office does open about this time, so you could go straight there, or you can, take your time getting there. It's completely up to you.
And are we all kind of in the lobby, or like...
However you guys would want. It's up to you. You each slept in different rooms, but you knew where each other were, so it's easy to find each other afterwards. So you can either go straight to the lobby, you can go into a room. It's up to you.
Let's go to breakfast.
Most important meal of the day.
We can talk about what we're gonna do while we eat. It'll be loud enough that probably people won't be able to overhear us talking. because everyone else will be eating and talking.
Definitely. So all of you go down to breakfast. Does anyone not go to breakfast, just to make sure? Don't want to push you. Okay, sounds like everybody goes.
Did I have enough time to like take a shower, get cleaned up? I mean, how does the undead shower and clean themselves?
Very gently.
You just remove your own arm and wipe around.
So, that's an interesting point. Give me a medicine check.
Has an epiphany suddenly, a week after reviving from death. Huh.
Oh, this should be interesting. Ah, shit.
16.
Hey, 16 is pretty good.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a nat
Only
one.
half of your ear
Oh,
falls off.
no. It's a 7, not a 1.
Okay, I thought that was one.
So there's a few things that are kind of like counterintuitive about you, because like you breathe, but you don't need to breathe. Like if you were to hold your breath, you wouldn't suffocate, but you're just breathing naturally. And similarly, all of your cells seem to basically be living, but it's kind of just like doing it because that's what cells do, as opposed to like, oh, it's really alive.
Just out of habit.
Yeah, it's this weird like
Like a muscle memory kind of thing, it just does it.
yeah, pretty much.
Alive out of habit, dead by choice.
But basically, you can tell that if these critical functions were to fail, you wouldn't necessarily die like a normal person would, or like suffer certain ill effects. But at the same time, you do seem to like need energy. Like you still need to sleep and you still need to eat, in the sense of like you need to have energy, but not necessarily you need to have like sustenance. It's unknown to you, and it doesn't really make that much sense to the logical person.
Okay.
So it's just being on Ozempic then.
That's it.
But in the end, you do like still, you can take a shower, and it's not like you're gonna rot in the shower as you bathe.
Ew.
Yeah.
What I would actually like is an Arcana check from you as well. This is a lot of checks from Hollybrook this morning.
An Arcana check for bathing.
Oh no.
With the Arcana check, you don't know what or who or why or anything, but there was definitely some type of Arcana on you after you had died. It had nothing to do with like what killed you, but it was something probably your family gave you, some type of like respite, because you were there for months and you don't look like a body that had been dead for months, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Something kept you in somewhat pristine order even before you came back to a pseudo life. And with that, like, you don't have massive amount of like rot or deterioration or anything like that, but you are dead.
Okie dokie.
But yes, to answer your original question, you do take a shower. Everybody who wants to can clean up, take care of themselves however they would like, and then head over for breakfast.
Sounds good.
All right, I got a 12 on my Arcana, so I'm pretty clean, but not the best smell, but a decent smell.
I've never wished for a character or a comrade to get a nat 1, except this is the first time. This is the first time I'm sad that Hollybrook didn't roll poorly, because I want to know what like failing a medicine and arcana check could do when taking a shower. Like, how do you nat
You
one?
smell like
How do you nat?
patchouli.
Yeah, how do you nat one hygiene? Like,
Well, luckily you weren't rolling for hygiene, so it works out.
yeah.
If you would not want hygiene in a shower, you come out caked in shit instead of coming out not caked in shit.
All right, I guess Eustace is very eager, and he's like waiting in the hallways for everybody else. Like, time to get up and get breakfast. He's very enthused.
He just really likes breakfast.
Yeah.
And who doesn't? All right, so everybody meets in the hallway.
Morning, all.
Ugh.
Good morning.
Not what your character would say.
I don't know.
I just sigh and walk down the hallway.
Good morning, Hollybrook. Did you sleep well? How's it going?
I did. How did you sleep?
Like a baby. I'm really excited to find out we get our grades and see how well we did.
Well, I know I'll do just fine, so I'm not worried.
Excellent. Good positive energy today.
Is it not a group project? It's great. It's not graded individually, right?
It is a group project. You will get the same grade as everybody.
Well, I'm still the best.
I like that attitude. carry it forth and to seize the day, Hollybrook.
As each of you go and you grab your breakfast, you can pick whichever one you want for breakfast, and if there's anything you want to discuss before heading out.
I don't think there's anything to discuss.
We were all up to date on the events last night, right?
Yes, everything was discussed from last night, with the exception of basically the very end where you were kind of aware, but you didn't really discuss it. The very end being the mix-up with the different people.
Right. So we noticed the doppelgangers in the party last night, and I wonder if whoever that person was talking to might, like their performance, whatever they put up, would impact our grade today.
Did we get any proof of the doppelgangers, or did we just see them?
We tried.
Yeah, you didn't get anything tangible. You did find like footprints, but it's not like you can show that to anybody.
Yeah. So, okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Eustace is trying to flag down the waiter.
I am as well.
A waiter comes over.
Good morning, garçon.
Yes. Good morning. How can I help you?
Well, I'll let the others go first.
Okay, then.
I'll take a continental charcuterie.
One charcuterie coming up. And for the others,
Shrimp and grits.
grits. Can do.
Shrimp and grits.
Yes, shrimp and grits.
I'll take an egg poached in vinegar and water for 3 minutes exactly with a little salt.
Hoity. It's
He kind of just stares at you.
I love that everybody's ordering off menu.
Yeah. I love that Hollybrook was just like, no, I'm ordering off menu. Make substitutions.
Figure it out.
wherever did you hear that?
I don't know.
I
I just tried to get specific on something stupid not on the menu.
No. He listens to you. Whether he's going to do that or not remains to be seen.
I'll have the charcuterie.
2 charcuteries. And he'll turn over to Carbon Fang as well.
I'll have whatever I has having.
Okay, so 3 charcuteries, a weird egg thing, and shrimp and grits.
And Eustace just puts the menu down and smiles and goes, I'll take the Royal Benedict and the French Toast Delight. And could I actually get a side, the chia seed parfait to go, please?
He asks a little incredulously, what do you mean to go?
Could you put it in some kind of paper or a container of some kind?
You want Greek yogurt inside paper?
Sure.
Can do.
I
Excellent.
think he's asking for a walking parfait.
So he takes everybody's menus back, and then you have a little bit of time before the food comes out if you want to discuss anything. If you're all caught up, you can get your food and go.
All right. If I guess I'll just do this in character. So the big question on my mind is: do we tell our instructors about this, or is this something we keep to ourselves? I know there was some mistrust amongst the authorities that we had previously mentioned. It seems like there were some political intrigue moments last night that might be above our pay grade.
Well, I think that means we need a higher grade because we kept it from turning into an international incident.
Oh, that's... Oh, you're a devil, that one. But true. Do we tell the instructors of the imposters?
If we told them, though, would they believe us?
I mean, I guess that depends on us and them.
I mean, would you believe us?
think I'd play that one by ear.
Fair. Just wanted to make sure we had a united front before we walked in.
I flunked because of my group. I don't know why you guys all flunked. So, would they believe a bunch of flunkies?
I mean, I guess it depends on how persuasive you can be.
Yeah.
Very.
I don't know that we're there yet.
But it's would it be virtuous to try nonetheless to say, hey, they're definitely
I have a +5 persuasion. Just
well,
saying.
there we go. If someone were impersonating us with impeccable skill at a international affair soiree, I imagine they certainly had their own agenda that didn't align with everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe she could be an imposter too. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should just let it play out and see what happens.
Fine with me.
Well, with that, the waiter comes back with the 3 charcuterie boards for Cassandra, Carbon Fang, and Ihaz. He then has to go back to get everything else, but comes back with, for Hollybrook, he does give you exactly what you ordered. And for Myrtle,
Yeah.
he basically comes to you. He says, well, we didn't have grits, but we did the best we could. And you see it's a plate with jumbo prawns that are grilled to perfection, but you also have this creamy polenta with some Parmesan cheese and sauteed mushrooms and some truffle oil. But, you know, it's like fancy shrimp and grits.
That'll work.
And then what did Eustace order again, other than the bag of... Oh, yeah, you got the 2 things.
Got
The
everything.
Royal
Yeah.
Benedict and the French Toast Delight.
Yes, so
And a
he gives
walking
you...
parfait.
He gives you both of those. He doesn't give you the parfait yet.
Good. Smart man.
Everybody has their breakfast of choice.
Well, thank you, sir.
This is at the hotel, right? Like this is there? Okay.
Correct.
And there were other people staying at the hotel from last night, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I'd like to maybe bend the waiter's ear and ask him to come over, and then I'd like to ask him a question. Have you heard anything in how the event went last night from any of the other patrons? We could maybe, make it worth your while, and with a little, a flip of a coin.
So you give him 1 gold?
No. It's just an example, depending upon
He's
what
flipping a
information.
coin in his own hand.
1 free round of Pac-Man.
I'm creasing my own palm here.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Nope.
He kind of gives you a side eye and says, let me go get your parfait. And he just leaves.
I jump in and apologize for my rude friend. And I'm also trying a persuasion to see if we can get any information out of him.
Sure, give me a persuasion check, please.
All right. So let me see. 24. I think that probably got something, right?
With a 24, what I would say is you basically are apologizing to the waiter, and ultimately what you do is you follow the waiter into the kitchen, which they somehow allow you in because you're so persuasive. And you not only talk to this guy, but you talk to several of the other wait staff. And for the most part, basically what you get is that everybody from this area, everybody from Alorium, thinks that it went well. They were actually very pleased with the event. They were actually very pleased with you, and that the industry of adventuring was seen in a good light. And because you broke a 20, you do hear that they were very, I don't want to say excited, but a similar word to excited, regarding Eldermore, which is the horse people country. Mm-hmm. Because they seemed to really be swayed in the correct direction. So you do have that sense of like, hey, Eldermore is kind of like really on our side right now.
Cool.
Excellent. All right, I'm gonna go continue stuffing myself with cheese and meat.
Everybody has a very good meal. Hollybrook, you still have my brain just shut off.
You still have my brain.
Brains, food.
So Hollybrook, you still have inspiration, but everybody also has the first check that you do after eating breakfast will be at advantage.
Ooh. It was the most important meal of the day.
So whatever that check is.
Good deal.
But you guys finish your breakfast, they clear the plates, and Eustace, they come out to you, and you see a very interesting thing. Basically what they've done is it's a modified mage hand. So it's just a floating parfait in front of you. There's no container whatsoever.
You see him probably happier than he's ever been since you've met him. This is just a fancy treat, breakfast dessert, and it's floating in midair. He loves it.
I'm hoping it immediately dissipates once you cross the threshold.
No, it seems to be doing good. As you head outside, it continues just as strong as it was. Actually, you know what? Eustace, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Hey, a dirty 20.
Unnatural 20. You get you realize like this spell is tied to the food itself. Once the food is consumed, the spell will disappear.
I hope. That could get very uncomfortable very quickly.
Have a fist of Greek yogurt in your stomach for the next 6 days.
Excellent.
What's the party's first priority? Do you want to go directly to that lady? Do you want to go back to the job board? Do you want to just do a quest? What's your
I
priority?
think we need to go to the lady, negotiate our points, and then go to the job board. That'll help us pick our next job.
Agreed.
Capital idea.
Plus, if we're all getting
Cafeteria.
bonuses right after breakfast, that's probably when we should do our most stringent negotiating.
True.
All right. So with that, the group goes back to the ministry building where you had first started off 2 days ago. You go back through the marble halls and you find exactly where she said she would be in her office. There is a sign outside with her name. So you knock on the door and she says, oh, yes, come in.
Good morning.
You guys enter her office, cheery and jovial. You look around. In comparison to the rest of the building, it's a very modest office. It doesn't look like it's because she's poor or anything. It just seems that she doesn't prioritize opulence. There is like a seating couch in the office itself, but mostly there's a desk. There's a couple of bookshelves, a lot of hanging certificates on the wall. Like she's very well educated and very well trained. But you also notice she seems to be on some type of like corner office, albeit a small one. She has 2 windows on 2 of the walls that face outwards from the building. And she sits at her desk and she sees all of you. There's enough seating area for the 6 of you to come in and sit down if you would like. And she's like, oh, yes, welcome in. We had quite the time last night. Thank you for helping us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So, we did connect with our international connections. Now, we did put the quest as a D ranking quest. And normally a D ranking quest has a maximum of 10 points. Now, a C level quest, which we were talking about, how that might work, has a maximum of about 30 points. And what we would like to offer to you is a good average of 20. It was more than a local one, but you didn't quite save another country or anything. So we're going to just leave it as 20 if you guys think that is acceptable, of course.
All right. Eustace kind of elbows Cassandra.
Can I counteroffer with a 25? Because I did some of my own research this morning, and it seems we did quite a good job and fostered several connections for you.
Give me a persuasion. You can use your advantage. Oh, okay. You got a 24.
Don't really need to, but okay.
Hey, do a second one. See if you crit.
Alright.
Nope.
Nope.
But you got a 24, which is very good. She kind of hushes her voice. She says, okay, it's going to take a little bit more paperwork, but I will give you the 25. I do think you earned it. And she outstretches her hands for your adventuring licenses. And she pulls out the little wax seal if you guys are ready to turn in your quest.
Perfect.
She takes everybody's licenses, she stamps each of them, and it goes up by 25, which now I believe leaves you with 27, correct?
Mm-hmm. How many do we have to get to graduate? 100?
100, yes.
Okay. Well, we're a quarter of the way there.
So she gives you a smile. She says, you did a very good job. You should be proud of yourselves. Thank you very much. I believe that you will be done with this quest by this time next year. But of course, if you're not, feel free again to join us next year. Or even if you want to join us as actual adventurers, you can do so as well.
Thank you for your offer. We will keep that in mind. If you have any other jobs you need done, please keep us in mind.
Oh, no, I'm good for now. I really appreciate your help. Of course, always check the job boards, or if you see anyone else in the building, they might have something, but I think I'm good.
Thank you.
She nods.
I guess I'll have Eustace start walking his way out, but he'll maybe take the long way. I'd like him to discreetly glance at some of the things on the wall. You said there were some like diplomas or awards and things, and I guess he just kind of wants to just subtly walk by and look at those.
Or give me a perception check.
Okay. A 10.
With a 10, all you see is basically her name over and over again. All the certificates are just like in such scrawl type text that you can't really read it without sitting there.
Very academic, very bougie. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. They're very large and very obvious of just like, she has won an award, or she has earned this, or she's a participant of this, or, she's a member of this party or whatever. So, yes.
Huzzah.
Anything else in the office before you head out.
There's not a message board in here, right?
Not in the office, no. There might be one in the building itself, but not in the office.
Okay.
One thing that I would remind you guys yesterday, I believe it was it was either Ihaz or Eustace. I forget who it was, but someone was talking with someone who then told them like, hey, there's an A-level quest. And they explained what it was, but you haven't actually read it. So if that's something you want to look into or not, it's up to you.
I don't know that we're up to an A-level quest, but I'm sure we could just look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine after last night, there's got to be some newer quests.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, with the impersonations and everything, I just have a feeling that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you leave the office, what I would like is from Ihaz, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give me what's your passive perception?
8.
Okay. So that's not high enough. So give me a perception check. If you would like to, you can use your advantage, but it's up to you. You could technically save it for the next thing if you want.
I will save it.
Okay. Okay. With a 12,
yeah,
you see a person like down one of the hallways, kind of turning a corner, and it hits you of like, I know that person.
Ooh.
But it wasn't a long enough vision to remember why you know that person, but very much like, oh, I know that person. You know, this is the ministry. You'll know certain people around here, but...
So someone I know, like they turned a corner, so like they're out of view now?
Correct.
Would I be able to casually catch up with him?
You could, but it's not in the direction that the group is going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to find out who this is.
All right. Sure. Are you just bolting out in a sprint, or are you being cool about it, or what are you doing?
I'm going to be cool and casual about it. I might like do a clear my throat to get the attention of someone in the group that I'm going to look into something, but I'm not going to tell them what. And
sure,
gonna head over.
Give me a performance check to see how well you can convey all of that with a cough.
And the award for best cough goes to
evidently Ahaz. With a 17, you cough and you at least get the gist of what you want to say. So as the group, you see Ihaz break off. What's your reactions?
Does it look alarming?
He seems to like have some type of intent of going down a hall, which wasn't the hall you were going down.
Oh, he probably needs to poop or something.
That's why Eustace was like, the charcuterie board did not agree with Ihaz. Be careful, you two.
All right. Well, Ihaz, in that case, what I would like from you is just a dexterity check to see how quickly you can get to the end of the hall without being awkward.
Sure. I'm going to use my advantage.
Okay. Hey, there you go. 15. So you kind of like, you're visually very awkward, but you're making your way down the hall pretty quickly. But some time has passed. Give me another perception check to catch this person like in your view, because you're not going to be right where that person was. Okay. So with a 13, it's still relatively low. Basically, you see, once again, the same person turning in a different direction. So this is like becoming a maze-like thing. Give me a history check to remember who this person is, because now you're more direct on figuring out who they are.
Oh.
Don't fuck it up. Oh.
All I'll tell you is it's a young adult female.
I know so many young adult females.
Working in the city.
Doesn't come across creepy at all.
How am I going to remember one?
Well, at this point, she's like in the ministry somewhere. You can continue to follow her if you so choose, or if you want to be just like, okay, that was enough, you can go back to the group. It's up to you.
Creeper.
Did I get it? Was I able to get an idea of whether she possibly works here or is just visiting? Anything indicating that?
With a 4, you have no idea. Your perception wasn't that great.
It's your soulmate. That's who it is.
But it's Ihaz. How many young adult females does he actually know? Shouldn't be hard.
Says the young adult female.
I said, I think we're looking at them in just this group right here.
Yeah, he's not going to put too much effort into it. He goes back to the group.
All right, you make it back to the group. Do you explain yourself at all, or do you just
no?
Okay.
No.
Didn't think so. All right,
Eustace is eating his hovering parfait and just being like, "You okay there, buddy? Everything okay in the lavatory?"
Lavatory.
Oh, we thought maybe the breakfast didn't agree with you.
Nah. Getting some exercise.
As he slurps a big thing of Greek yogurt midair. It's dribbling all over his face.
I'm not sure I'm going to survive with your characters, guys.
Do you guys ever see those videos of astronauts drinking water on the space station?
Mhm.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, just bubbles.
Yeah.
Blobbing it.
in his
Like,
face. Yeah.
Yes, my headcanon is that he never gave you a spoon, so you're just like lapping it out of there.
Like a dog.
just walking down the hall. Just doing that.
Probably not the weirdest thing that's been in these halls, so there's that. All right, so you guys go down to the town notice board?
Yes, I think so.
All right, you guys make your way to the town notice board. You do see that there are some additional quests. It also looks like a couple of the other quests that you had seen previously have been taken down, whether they're being taken by someone else or maybe the poster just rescinded it. But are you looking for a specific level quest or anything like that? Or
I wanted to look at them and see if there was anything that possibly pertained to stuff last night.
okay, can do. Give me an investigation check. It's a very low DC.
Okay. I got a 10.
I'll say that's enough. Looking through all of the different ones, you see one that kind of seems like it might be related. It doesn't seem like it's directly due to anything that happened last night, but it does seem like it was related to things that had happened last night regarding the doppelgangers, quote unquote.
Okay.
You see it's actually got like a title on the top. It says The Shifting Whispers. It's a D-level quest, and it's much more personal. All the other ones seem to have been very bland and official looking, whereas this one is like handwritten, and it starts off with like greetings and things like that. It's a person who calls themselves Raylan Shift Shadow, and the thing that makes you wonder about it is this person refers to themselves as a shifter, which you know is someone who can change their appearance at will. So even without reading what the actual objectives of the quest is, you're like, even if this person isn't related, maybe that as like an idea is related to what we have.
So I bring the group's attention to it and refer to last night and say, this might be worth looking into.
Can Holly look for one that makes her look really good?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Holly is also looking at the board, but she's looking for one that will just make her look really good and stand out.
I see. Okay, give same thing. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, this should be interesting. Oh, shit.
With a -1, you want to find something, and basically you're just so eager to find something that you become overcome with choice paralysis, and you just can't look at this right now.
Big surprise.
Oh, what's this? What's this I see? The emissary's request. Oh, this seems vaguely related to intrigue and espionage, diplomatic intricacies. And I take the emissary's request and I hold that and show them.
So can I see the quest?
The one that you were looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the quest that you were looking at, just reading through, it involves investigating phenomena, researching arcane anomalies, locating an elder, and protecting this person, but with a reward of a modest sum of gold, as well as some trinkets and her gratitude.
I'm so interested in Guardian of the Woods.
Is that the thing where there's something lost?
An ancient guardian spirit in the nearby forest is disturbed by unknown forces, causing a natural imbalance. Discover the cause behind the spirit's agitation and restore harmony.
Well, that one has disappeared from the board, although you did still see it. Give me a luck check. Give me a 1d20.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's missing.
Well, I knew it was up there somewhere.
It was at one point.
Well, let's before we continue on, I guess, are there any new ones that aren't on the board yet?
Yeah,
that are on the quest
I don't
board.
think any quest that just makes me look good. Nothing to go off my wonderful talents of healing.
The library looks good.
Well, let's see. What are the new ones then? Like that aren't currently on Discord.
Sure. What level quests are you looking for? C's, B's?
I would look
Ds,
for
Fs?
D's or C's because we went from 2 Fs and then the diplomacy one was a D or a C. I can't remember. It was D, right?
It was a D plus.
It was a
Yeah.
D plus. Yeah,
It was a D plus. I like that.
so I'm thinking like D or C is kind of just maybe slowly crawl up and test the waters.
Sure. All right. Looking in, you see several new ones. There's a new D level quest. I'm just going to say what the titles are, and then if you want more detail, I can give you more detail. The first of the D level is Shadows in the Alley. Then there's another one called The Missing Heirloom, which is different from the previous one. And then the Herbological Dilemma. So those are your D levels. Then you have a C level quest. You have two. One's called The Artisan's Dilemma, and it's a master artisan. And then you also see basically another one that is called the Enigmatic Scholar.
That one sounds interesting.
Yeah, what's that one about?
Sure. You see the client's name is Professor Octavia Loreweaver. And the description on the paper, it says, renowned scholar requesting assistance in acquiring a mysterious artifact in an ancient ruin. The artifact is said to hold knowledge of great historical significance. Assemble a capable team, navigate the dangers of the ruin, and retrieve the artifact intact.
Ooh, and it's sea level?
They see that.
Ooh.
How close is it?
So it doesn't actually put the location on this, but it does have the client, so you could go speak with her if you'd like.
What wasn't there an ad about a shapeshifter? Did we read that one?
So there is the shapeshifter one.
We haven't read that one, have we?
That was what, Shadows in the Alley? Or was that something else?
The
Shiftless.
The shifting whispers was
Okay. Yeah, let's read all the new ones just in case. And the Shifting Whispers.
the shifting whispers, which is the one that Myrtle had read. It was the one with Raylan Shiftshadow. It says, greetings, esteemed adventurers. I am Raylan Shiftshadow, a shifter with a unique ability that has recently become a cause for concern. I possess the innate gift of shapeshifting, allowing me to assume various forms. However, I've been experiencing unexplained shifts without my control. These involuntary transformations have caused distress among the locals, leading them to believe in malevolent forces to play. To clear my name and find a solution, I seek a group of capable individuals to investigate the origin of these mysterious occurrences.
That one does sound interesting.
It does.
To us.
And what level is that one?
It's a D level.
Let's do that one.
You guys want to do a warm up? I mean, two birds and one stone.
Yeah, because we can take both, can't we?
Yeah, you can take whatever you want.
Okay. Well, let's take the shifting one, and then do we also just go ahead and pocket the professor one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we just pocket it? Like, and just say like this is claimed for ours?
Yeah, you can claim both of them. You can claim more
Okay.
than one at a time.
Okay.
The only thing that I would say is that you would know just in this world, like if you were to go up to the board and just take all of them for yourself and then not do half of them, it ends up looking bad for you. Like people won't want to work.
Really?
Can I claim them and then sell them on the black market?
Ooh, Craigslist the quest.
You mean
Right.
having like a manic like stay up 30 days or 3 days straight, grab all the things, I'll accomplish all the quests in one night isn't exactly praised and valued.
No, people don't like that for some reason.
Oh, okay.
And I want to steal them all and become a quest broker.
The quest middleman.
You have to pay me $10 and then I'll show you all the quests I think you're capable of doing.
Pretty good quest board there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
I want to be a quest recruiter.
Quest broker.
You take the 2 quests for yourselves. And did you still want to look at the A level as well, just to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, so for that one, you see the Eclipsing Shadow Threat. That's the A level
Yeah.
quest. This one, it's different from the others. An A or a B level quest because of the nature of the quest. Basically, there's a lot of paperwork behind it, but it's still got a bunch on the board that you can still see. It says the Ministry of Affairs urgently requests the aid in countering the looming threat possessed by the nefarious entity known as the Eclipsing Shadow. This force, linked to notions of decay and destruction, endangers the very fabric of our existence. Your mission, should you choose to accept, involves an intricate series of tasks aimed at disrupting the perceived influence of the Eclipsing Shadow. And you kind of just see bullet points, and it says intelligence gathering, ritual disruption, gate sealing, cult leader apprehension, and diplomatic efforts. And at the very end, it's got kind of like the fine print kind of thing. And it just says, may the light of knowledge guide your path. Ministry of Affairs. And then additional notes providing various contact locations and points of reference for adventurers to go to the ministry.
Well, everyone, we got rid of some pests on a farm, a haunted bar, and went to a party. So I think we're ready to fight, vanquish evil, he says, dripping with sarcasm.
Dripping with yogurt. Yeah.
And yogurt, too. That's gone, by the way. That was very sloppily consumed by the time we got
No,
to the
there's
board.
just like little daubs of it
Yes.
following you around.
There are some remainders on his face that he is wiping
I'm just
off.
picturing people walking around, occasionally looking at this board, going, "Oh look, there's an end of the world quest." I really hope somebody takes it.
Somebody else will get it. The world is changing and heating up and we'll all die. Somebody else will fix it.
Yeah. But yeah, so you have taken the 2 quests. You have gotten information on the A rank quest. So of the 2 quests that you have taken, which one would you like to look into?
Which one's closer? Or which one's...
I think we should do the shapeshifter one first.
Do the shapeshifter one first.
Yeah.
The shapeshifter is within town.
Let's do it.
So it would be here.
Yeah.
You know the contact person. It is in town. You find the address. So who took this quest? Myrtle?
Sure.
Well, who was it that like chose it in the first? I think it was Myrtle because you wanted the one that was related to what had happened.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, who chose it or who took down the paper? And I was like, I'm not sure on if Myrtle was the one that chose it. Yes.
Yes. I can't reach them, but I chose it.
Cassandra picks you up. As you take it, what I would like from you is just to navigate the city, just a survival check. Okay. Within 11, you don't find the most direct path, but you do find it, and you find a small home where this person lives. As you go, you go to the Swift Shadow home. It's a small home. It's not in the nicest neighborhood, but it's also not in like the slums. It's a lower middle class home. It's single level, small. You see like there's a front door and like a front window that faces the street, and as you approach the home, you see that there is smoke coming out of the chimney, so someone's likely to be home.
Well, knock on the door.
Yeah. Knock, knock.
You knock on the door. You hear on the other side of the door some kind of like, as if someone was in the kitchen and they drop like some pans. It's like, ta, 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 ta. But you hear footsteps coming to the door. They open the door, and on the other side of the door, once it's opened, you see a peculiar sight. It's very much like when you've gone to the mall and you see those like white plastic mannequins where they're like featureless but still have vaguely a nose. It's that. So this person doesn't have eyes that you can perceive. They don't really have a mouth you can perceive, and they're pure white. And who would have been first at the door?
Probably me.
Yeah.
Cassandra, you see this person first, and very quickly, and very much like Mystique from the X-Men, the face kind of flutters, and it doesn't copy you exactly, but it's very much your style of person. So copper skin, pointed ears, high elven features, and they stand in front of you. They says, "Hello, can I help you?"
I'm assuming you're the one that put the thing up on the job board?
Oh, yes, thank you. I didn't know if anyone would actually help me for that.
We've accepted your quest.
Oh, well, that was actually quite quick. It took me so long to get the academy to accept it, but this is very good. Yes. Well, come in, and this person lets you in. The interior of the home is very small. You have like a very open floor plan of like the living room and kitchen and dining room are just really one room. And then there's kind of one room in the back that's a bedroom and one side that's kind of the bathroom. So it's a small home, and you can kind of quickly tell that this person likely lives by themselves, and they kind of brush off some seats to allow you to sit down. And they say, yes, so thank you for coming.
When did you submit the quest if it took so long for them to approve it?
Yes, and how long has this been going on?
Well, I'm not quite sure. You see, this person stammers over their words for a little bit, and then they kind of stop themselves, breathe, and they say, okay, how much do you know about shifters?
Very little. Give me everything you've got.
So shifters as a race were able to change our appearance. This is not my appearance. You actually got to see my true appearance, which is a blank slate. And to be honest, I don't even know if that's my real form either. That's kind of just what I default to, and many other shifters also have a very similar blank slate default, but who knows if that's actually our true selves. Now, very similar to a polymorph spell, we can change our appearance, but within, actually less like a polymorph spell and more like disguise appearance, because we can't change into like a bucket, but I can change into other races as long as they're bipedal or similar to my body shape. I also can't grow to be 8 feet tall or shrink down to be 3 feet tall. But
you could be a cow or a crow, or it has to be a humanoid of roughly the same size and shape.
Correct. So I could turn into.
It would be me.
Can't be you. But for me, like I could turn, and like this person turns into a dragonborn, so looking just like I has or Carbon Fang, turns back into the elf, very similar to Cassandra and Hollybrook. And as they're looking back, they say, what I'm doing right now is very intentional. I'm doing this on purpose. But what's happening lately is the transformations are kind of happening almost as if I can't control them. Like I'll become someone else mid-sentence without me trying. And the weirdest part is that sometimes it's very hard for me to know what I look like at any given time, because it's part of me knowing these things. But once or twice this has happened, and I was luckily in the presence of a mirror or a shiny object that I could see myself in, but I did not recognize the face. It's not a face I know, so I can copy a person if I want to specifically be a person, but more than often I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't like copying other people. I like to make up my own faces, basically as composites. But the faces that I'm seeing, I didn't create those faces, and I don't know those faces. So I don't know who they are or why I'm changing into them. And they're not permanent either. So it's not like, I mean, at least for now, I don't know what the future might bring, but at least for now, they can change. But half the time I don't know that I've changed, and someone has to tell me, and then I can change back. But it's becoming an issue. And not everybody likes shifters, because obviously there's a lot of unknown, because if you can't know what a person looks like at any point in time, it's hard to trust them. So I don't exactly tell everybody that I'm a shifter. I don't announce it to the world. So going out and having the possibility of being at the bank one day and suddenly looking like someone else might not be the safest thing for me. And already I can tell people are starting to talk around town. It's not going to be safe for me. The town is starting to get upset, and I'm feeling unsafe. So that's where we're at. I don't know what's going on, but something has to be causing it.
And when did the lack of control start? When did the haphazard shifting?
Or when did you notice it?
The first time someone told me about it, less than a month ago. But again, I don't know if I had been doing it beforehand without knowing.
How often does it seem to be happening?
I can't quite say for certain. It does seem to be at random.
Did you go anywhere or visit anything or do anything differently before you noticed this started happening?
They think to themselves, they shake their head. They're like, I've pretty much stayed in town or very close to town. The city is big enough for me. I don't need to travel. And I don't recall doing anything particularly different than normal.
Who told you? Who noticed that you had changed? What was the first experience like?
My first experience of someone telling me was a friend of mine. They didn't realize that I didn't know I was doing it. They thought I was playing a joke. So that was an awkward way of finding out. And then the second way that I found out was a shop merchant, which was very embarrassing. So that became an issue. So that's when I decided to contact the ministry of saying, hey, something's wrong. I did actually go see a doctor. However, the doctor was not well versed in shifter physiology, so he wasn't much help.
And where were you when you were with this friend and it first happened?
I think I was here. We were just talking. I was cooking and talking, and they were standing basically where you were. And supposedly my face had changed mid-sentence. Again, I didn't realize that I had done this, and I was able to look at myself in one of my cast iron pots, which were shined. I saw like, oh, that's not me. And then I fixed my face and it went back to normal. And I didn't really think anything of it the first time, because I was just like, whatever. But then the second time was when I really kind of figured, okay, this is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a history check to see if I've heard of anything like this ever happening before?
Sure, give me a history check. Or either give me a history check or give me an arcana check.
Hey, as a healer, would I know anything about this?
Give me a medicine check to see if you know anything about physiology of a shifter.
Ooh.
I have proficiency in medicine too. Can I also do that?
Sure, give me a medicine check. Well, with your history check, Cassandra, you don't know anything of like actual no. There is like a child's nursery rhyme kind of thing about this one guy who got the hiccups, and every time he'd hiccup, he'd change his face. But you don't think that that's worth it.
Have we tried scaring him?
Hollybrook, with a 27, I'm going to say that you are familiar with shifter physiology. You were well trained in the academy, and as such, you actually do have a fair amount of awareness of these people. One of the things that I would tell you is that a lot of what they're doing, it actually has to do with photovoltaic cells in their body, which allows them to change the pigmentation by stretching or compressing the pigments so that they can actually change colors. And they have 3 different pigments which can create any color that you want, very similar to the rods and cones in your eyes. That being said, these are very much controlled by, I don't want to say host, but by the patient. It's not an involuntary thing. So even if you were to scare him, he wouldn't suddenly change their appearance. They would still have the same face, just a startled face as part of that. So what this person is saying is very unusual. It's the equivalent of someone who's like, I randomly start dancing once in a while and can't stop or can't control it until someone points it out to me.
Oh, I used to have that problem when that Pharrell song was on. It just can happen. But,
I get my bread in a slightly wet environment and suddenly I can't stop dancing.
and this is, maybe I missed this in the initial description of shifting. Can they mimic clothing?
Yes. So
they can everything. Okay. So this definitely could, not that I'm saying it is, but it seems functionally very similar to impostering that we encountered at the Masquerade ball. Okay.
Can I try detect magic and see if he has been cursed or if someone has done something to him?
Sure. Give me, do you have detect magic?
I do.
Okay. You do detect magic. Give me an arcana check. You'll definitely get information. It's just a matter of how much information.
Damn, man. That would have been a pretty gutsy move to just cast a spell you do
20.
not have. Like, can I cast detect magic? Do you have it? No, but I was hoping.
I saw someone do it once. I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it.
I saw it on an episode of, Magical Matlock or something.
I saw the myth about this one. I know how it works.
Well, with an unnatural 20, you actually can tell that there is not necessarily a curse on this person, but there is on this person divination magic, and related to this person some type of abjuration magic. It's the spell's effect is not happening here, but this person is somehow related to that spell, but didn't cast it.
So someone has bespelled him.
There is some type of magic effect, yes.
Okay.
I want to ask the guy if he knows of other shapeshifters who are experiencing this.
Ooh, I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
Eustace actually says that. He's like, ooh, I was just about great minds think alike.
Give me a persuasion check. 20. This person thinks to themselves, they say, well, I haven't actually I only spoke with one other shifter about this, and they didn't have this issue, but also, again, I don't even know I have the issue until it's pointed out to me.
So they may not be aware of it.
Mm-hmm. And are you fully aware of your actions and when you're under the effect?
Yeah, I don't have like blank time or anything like that, or lost memories or anything like that. It's literally like I'm doing something but don't realize it.
Ask him if he went to the Masquerade last night.
Oh, yeah.
No, I had nothing to do with that. I'm not in that type of social circle.
Do we tell him why we're asking?
Guess it's up to you.
Just tell him.
I think maybe the guy that already is feeling persecuted might not really share information with strangers that came into his home if they suddenly said, yeah, there's also a lot of people out like that might be you causing problems.
And that also may not have been a shifter at all. It could have just somebody using polymorph.
Eustace does that with like the hand over the like ex-nay on the edge prejudice J. Prejudice J.
But if he was one of these other people, they wouldn't draw attention to themselves and putting up this ad. So I think we can safely exclude this guy from the other gang.
This person goes to the bedroom, and there's like this little wicker basket, and they put their hand in it. They pull out a small book, and they bring out the book, and it's just like a sketchbook. And they say, I try to do art. The last couple of times that my face changed, that I didn't want it to, but I got to see it, I tried to draw it down. I'm not a great artist, I know, but at least I don't know if this helps at all. But here, you can take a look at the faces.
And it's just like a middle school drawing of it, like an anime character.
It's like
big-titted goth girl.
It's one step above that. Who would have taken the book?
Probably Eustace. He probably would have been like, "Oh yes, share this with me."
Yeah, I mean, you skim through the book. No one particularly sticks out to you as like, oh, I know that person.
Can I show everybody else the rest of the book? Like, we all gather around and look at it to make sure that they don't recognize anybody?
Sure. So this breaks the fourth wall illusion a little bit, but Cassandra, I would like you to give me either a perception to see the picture or a history check to recognize the picture, one way or the other. Okay, these pictures are not that great.
I do have proficiency. Does that mean I can roll twice?
No, it's why you have a +6.
Yeah, I know.
Have you used your advantage from breakfast yet?
No.
She is not. I was just about to point that out.
If you want to.
21?
Okay. With a 21, you do recognize this person, and it's your dad's friend that you met at the hotel. It vaguely reminds you of that person, but it's too close to be a coincidence.
Where were you the night before last?
Here. I don't really go places.
All day? All night?
Well, during the day, I went to the market. It's just about town, but all night
And then did you go wee all the way home?
This little thing. I only asked that question because this drawing looks very familiar to a man I ran into 2 days ago.
Oh, wait, you saw him 2 days ago?
Yeah, because it was the night before the...
Yes, you're correct. But they're just like questioning it because they point out that it's the very last drawing, and they said that this was from last night.
That's interesting.
Ooh. They made that drawing last night.
Can I ask you a weird question?
I suppose.
Have you been gifted or received any items, jewelry, clothing, anything from anyone
Funko Pops
in the last month?
I mean, I go to the market, I buy things, but I definitely didn't get any jewelry, and I don't think I bought any clothing.
It could be anything you brought into your house. Like, did somebody give you anything that seemed a little weird or just out of sorts or at all?
This person's going to make a think to figure out, was there anything weird? And with a 6, they say, no, I mean, I've bought food. That's about it.
Food, you say?
Okay. Can I do a detect magic on the house, like the area we're in? Because it's got a 30-foot range.
Sure. You can do your detect magic, and it's still going on from before when you looked at the person himself. And basically that divination magic is kind of like all throughout the house, but the abjuration is only connected to this person.
Is there anything you wear constantly or don't take off?
Ooh, take it off.
They kind of look to the side, almost not embarrassed, but kind of like almost laughing to themselves, and they say, I'm technically naked right now.
Not fair. You never know. Gotta ask.
There were, here's the thing, there were worse answers than that.
It was abjuration and what kind of magic?
So divination's all around the house, and abjuration is on this person.
Wait, can you explain the difference between those?
So divination magic is basically like scrying or the ability to like know things that are happening. Abjuration magic, the school of abjuration, emphasis on things that block, banish, and protects.
Blocking control. of abilities, certainly, or protection, though. Interesting.
Doesn't have to be protecting him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely something very much related.
Are you aware of the fact that you are absolutely dripping abjuration magic?
Dripping.
They look at you and they give you like a genuine look of, I don't want to say shock, but more confusion. Give me an insight check.
What's magic?
What's magic?
And he responds, "Are you aware that you're dripping in yogurt?"
Dirty 20. No, that's not me. That's him.
With your insight check, he does seem surprised by what you say and also a little bit scared. But it's more of like a fear of the unknown as opposed to like, oh, I know what's happened.
Mm.
So I'm going to say that that's a no, that you didn't know that.
He shakes
But
his
he
head.
knows what it means.
Okay. And your house is absolutely infused with divination magic.
That one shocks him less. He says, well, I got a service as part of protection to keep my house safe. I do live alone after all.
When did that happen?
When did I get that? Oh, a while ago. Quite a while ago.
Like a year ago? Like a month ago?
More than a year. I've been living here for about 7 years, and it maybe the third or fourth year, so 3 or 4 years ago.
Quite a puzzle.
Well, who was this friend that was around you when it first happened?
It was Caliph. Caliph is a street vendor, and they were at my place. We were just hanging out. We weren't really doing anything. I was cooking lunch.
And at the merchant shop, what merchant shop did you go to for that as well? When the second time it happened?
Oh,
I'm looking for patterns, you see, to see if there's anything that an allergy or a location or a word or a spell or some kind of activation, a trigger, if you will.
sure. I was at the bazaar. It's an outdoor bazaar. I was looking at artifacts, but I didn't touch anything. I was literally just talking, and there was this elf woman, and she pointed it out. She thought I was making fun of her, and I said no, and then things got embarrassing and I left. I didn't touch any of the things, so I don't think it was one of the relics or anything like that, but that was just where it happened.
And the first time it happened, you were with Caliph, the street vendor, and you were cooking at home.
Yes, Caliph was sitting on the couch, kind of pointing to where some of you are sitting, and I was over here cooking, and actually, again, they thought I was joking, not making fun of them, but just kind of joking to go along with the story, I guess, because they started laughing, and I was like, what's so funny? And they're like, oh, your face. And I was like, what? And then, then I saw my reflection. And...
Oh, I could see how that could be a misunderstanding, yes. Quite an unintentional jape.
So you said that you ticked somebody off in the market. Do you know anything about that? Could you have gotten cursed?
Well, I don't think so, because the curse would have happened before I did that. I mean, I guess curses are just a part of life. That's why we have the Adventuring Guild, to stop these things, but that's why I put my thing in. But I don't know when or how I would have been cursed. There was no big, grand event that would have been seen as, oh, this is when I was cursed, if I'm even cursed.
Okay.
Does anybody have Dispel Magic?
No.
This person also just shrugs. They say, I don't know magic, unfortunately.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for the patient?
If you want to talk to Caliph, they're a street vendor. They're not far from here. Basically, and she kind of gives you directions. She's like, if you go right there, just look for this lean, black-furred cat.
Okay.
Very faint stripes on the side.
Okay, I guess we'll go do some research and come back when we have a better idea of how to help you.
I'll most likely be here. I don't trust myself to be out of the house for too long, so.
One more thing, not a Columbo, but one more thing. When you turned into this man, and I show Cassandra's, the acquaintance that she pointed out, I go, what were you doing when this face came over you?
Give me an insight check. They're going to respond to you, but give me an insight check.
Okay. 13.
Would you want to know their emotional state, or would you want to know, like, kind of, not surface level thoughts, but kind of their priorities right now?
That's a good question. Priorities.
Priorities, okay. So the answer that they give you verbally is, I was just in bed and I happened to know this. And the priority is very much of like, they're holding back for some reason. They're not allowing you to know exactly what they were doing. but it was late at night, and they're basically saying I was in bed.
Mm.
Okay. All right, and I only know this. The others don't pick up on it, right?
For the most part, for right now at least, yeah.
Okay. All right, I will kind of give a wink and a nudge to Cassandra and say, yeah, let's all head out and, like, kind of try to give a communication like, yeah, I'm going to do something real quick once you guys are gone.
Yeah, let's go talk to your friends, and then we'll come back. Maybe today, might be tomorrow, but we'll definitely be back.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right.
And I kind of head up the rear and do the classic, okay, close the door right after they've left.
So you're still in the room?
I'm still in the room, yes.
Okay. They look at you concerned.
Okay, I say, oh, nothing to be concerned of. I sensed something that maybe you wouldn't want to say or wouldn't want to share in the last question. I didn't want to embarrass you, but I am a cloth adjacent. I adhere to a very strict set of moral rules and laws that govern over my actions, and I'd like to think one of those things is confidentiality, and confession is good for the soul, but how would you notice that you changed if you were just laying in bed and you've said before, you don't notice when it happens?
Oh, well, I was laying in bed, and I was like this, and they've got their arm over their face, but resting on their nose. And the nose changed, and I could feel it moving, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Give me a deception check to kind of force them into something more.
Hey!
With a 26, they continue to talk, then just go into a full stammer and just are unable to speak for a while, and then kind of like buries their face in their hands, and like, I was in bed with someone and it didn't end well.
well, it didn't end well. So they transformed mid-activity, it sounds like. Which would definitely be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, you transform into the person you're actually thinking about. Oh no, that's
this random old fuddy-duddy that I've never met before. My dream man, this wealthy aristocrat.
Do they have baseball?
Yeah, then he transforms into a baseball glove.
Oh my god.
Think about baseball. Think about baseball.
That's not exactly how it works, but
I'm just imagining like the visual comic of this where all of them are just outside eavesdropping and cracking these jokes. Like okay, I do. Eustace does not laugh, but Eustace actually genuinely tries to comfort them and say, I cannot imagine your embarrassment on that. But there's no sense trying or beating yourself up or worrying about things that you have no control over. This is no different than a cold or an illness or a curse. But I understand where you're coming from and why you would hold back.
I don't know who that person is. I really don't know who that face is.
I believe. Well, can I like kind of scan him to see if I think he genuinely doesn't know?
Sure, give me an insight check.
Okay.
I'll even give it with advantage because you've already been kind of connecting with him.
Hey.
Okay, with an 18, yeah, at this point he seems like all of his cards are on the table.
All right, I go. Would you like a hug?
They're like, no, thank you though.
Okay, well then I'll give you a high five. Best of luck, and we're on the case. Don't worry. My compatriots and I we've done quite a few of these, and then he like counts like, yes, a few. So you're in good hands. We'll definitely make the best of this. And then Eustace kind of goes out.
All right, you leave and you're back in the street.
And definitely tries not to snicker once he's out.
I like the idea of like the 90s sitcom of like you open the door and everybody's ears up against it, so they
Everybody falls into the
room. So you're back in the street. You're as a group now. So yeah, you can investigate further. You can go talk to this guy's friend, or you could go elsewhere and do other things. Completely up to you. You have everything open for you.
I guess I would share. I guess I'll just do it in character. I imagine all of you were quite curious about why I hung back there. I just felt he needed a
a trained ear to talk to and maybe just cheer him up a little bit and confide in. I cannot tell you what he said, but I can tell you with genuine certainty that he does not know that man, and I do not believe he was anywhere else. He was at home that night. So I do not think he is a willing participant. I think that much is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, perhaps we should go question his friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So the directions towards where this street vendor is easy enough to follow the directions. It's only like 2 blocks away. As you go, who would be leading the charge?
Probably me.
Okay. Give me a perception check to find the character based off of the description.
I'm not very perceptive today.
So with a 9, the street right now is actually very busy, and you see lots of different vendors. You see lots of people shopping. Most of these people are people shopping. Maybe 10% are actually the people selling things. But you can definitely find this person is just going to take you a while. The street is filled with different like incense, and there's like little magical effects going off. You hear music playing from different vendors, so they're all overlapping, and it's just like overstimulation. But eventually you're able to find this person's friend. You find this lean and agile tabaxi, just like was described to you, with black fur, and he's got like trinkets that he's selling in front of him. It doesn't seem, because a lot of these people have like very distinct, like, I'm selling wool or I'm selling apples or whatever, and this guy's just got like 20 different things, none of which have anything to do with each other, and it's like one item each, and they're just like on a blanket in front of him. He's just kind of standing there, and he's very like stereotypical, like, I'm trying to make money off of it. So like as he's trying to barter with the people at his blanket, he's kind of almost like dancing. Like it's kind of interesting to watch. But there are people in front of you like looking at his wares. You hear he's got a very like not high pitch per se, but very almost like whiny voice. Like it's like he sounds like he's constipated and also really excited at the same time.
Sure.
Well, case closed. No.
He's probably one of those people that others come to like, what's the word when you trade in your valuables for cash?
Like a pawn shop?
Yeah, a pawn shop. So that explains all of the random items, single items that he's selling.
He's selling hot merchandise, stuff that's been stolen. He's a fence, is what you're saying.
Yeah. In role-playing terms, a fence. In modern terms, one of the people on Pawn Stars.
Just Facebook Marketplace.
So looking in front, it's a lot of like little mechanical bits and bobs. Like there's things that are moving around, creating light and things like that. So it's not like, oh, here's a hockey stick. It's a little bit more special than that.
And do we know this person's name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, for some reason I completely disconnected that it was somebody else. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah, never mind.
Caliph.
Yeah. I for some reason I pictured like Pete from Disney. Like I don't know why, and I was like, yeah, never mind. Don't mind me.
He is technically a cat, which is weird.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a cat? What?
Yeah.
Cat. Yeah, Pete is a cat.
No. What? How?
I don't know.
Does he have like the big cartoonish cigar like hanging out? Like, okay.
No. This
All
man
right.
is very lean.
Well, I guess we approach Caliph.
Caliph sees you approach, gets very excited at like additional customers.
Oh, you blocked out there for some reason.
They just said hello, and that was it.
Oh, okay. I think we heard, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. It was just,
Yeah.
And he feels overdid at that point. What?
It's Kalis is the Trek one, the Klingon Jesus.
Yes.
Kalis. Okay, I was trying to.
Kalis, yeah.
Kalis. Okay. No, like, hello, friend.
friend.
Oh boy. You know when you've out cheerful or out energied Eustace that there's a oof.
Are you a
Can I just push Eustace out of the way?
Oh.
Hi, we're investigating your friend's random shape-shifting. Can we ask you some questions?
Okay. Are you cops?
Oh.
Do I look like a cop?
He squints at you.
Would a cop lie?
If you're a cop, you have to tell me. That's a law. You know that,
All right. How about a cab includes Paw Patrol?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
He smiles. He's like, okay, you're good.
When did you notice your friend start shapeshifting unwillingly?
It was like a month ago.
How many times have you seen it happen?
Twice.
Have you noticed anything else strange going on?
No.
Can I do an insight check and see if I just notice anything weird?
Sure.
I mean, the voice.
I got a 6, so like I said, I'm just not very insightful today.
It's a cat man.
I hold up a turnip, and I'm like, this is a banana, right?
You can't insight much. You look at it, you're confused. So he's like, what do you need?
Trying to find out any information at all to see if anyone else had noticed anything that maybe your friend had not noticed.
He thinks to himself, what I would like is a perception check, please.
Absolutely.
Oof.
Well,
Oof.
He's a cat, man.
yeah, he's
He's weird.
He's a kitty cat, meow meow.
Cat man, meow meow.
Yeah, he seems very intimidated by you.
Me specifically or us in general?
I would say Cassandra specifically, but give me an insight check.
What the fuck?
But then that one, yeah, I mean, he just hates you because you're beautiful.
Aww.
Aww.
I know that feeling well.
I don't know that feeling. All right. Anybody else want to question him? Since obviously I'm making him uncomfortable.
I could try. Look, man. I know she seems real intimidating, but it's just a ruse. It's just something she does when she wants to protect people she cares about. And this new friend of ours, man, he's in a weird place, and we're just trying to learn.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
17.
I has persuades. He says, "All right, there are other people in the thingy," and he's kind of just like gesturing around to the bazaar. He's like, "There's other people that have had weird things happen, and it doesn't make much sense."
Why do I feel like he's gonna hawk up a fur ball at any moment? Like,
Start licking his
That's
butthole.
where I get my trinkets.
And your butthole? Have you acquired any new trinkets recently?
Actually, he just gestures in front of him, and he's like, "I got many wares." But yeah, there's and he's like struggling to think himself. What I would like is, I guess, strangely enough, what I would like is from Cassandra a stealth check to kind of just not be in his vision.
he's just that creepy.
Okay. And
It's like just go away. Don't have him look at you. He's just that weird.
I'm just gonna start perusing the table slightly, like the merchant right next door, like passively listening to what they're saying while I'm looking through stuff on the table.
There's other people, and they're not shifters, but they have different things, and they're doing the same thing.
What?
There's one of them that's like clay, and he gets his face. It looked at that old lady, and then he kind of gets angry for a second, and then calms down, and then he talks about someone else, and he says, "There was one other person, and he looked just like what my friend looked like the first time.
Hmm.
Now you come buy something?"
Sure. Sure, why not?
Now that you guys are done questioning him, I'm gonna come back and actually see if there's anything he has that I want to buy.
Sure. There's actually quite a number of things. Most of them seem to be almost like tchotchke kind of things, but there's a couple of them that actually have usage. You see one of them is like invisible ink. You see one of which being a memory vial. You see a miniature crystal ball. There's actually, you know what? Give me an Arcana check. with a 17, you pick up a amulet, and basically this amulet gives you the ability, if you wear this amulet, it gives you the ability to understand spoken and written language.
I definitely would like to buy this.
Oh, yes, very pretty. 500 gold.
I'll give you 100 for it.
Okay, sold.
Wow. Whoa. Wowzers. Anything else look good there?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay, with a 21, here, I'm just gonna give you what was on his table.
It's just all written like that. It's just shiny,
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh, you fucking nailed this.
Damn, Adam.
Oh.
So you got the amulet, but you've got plenty of other things to choose from as well.
So this is the person he was hanging out with when this first activated.
Yes.
This guy that's just around all kinds of magical shit. And what was he saying about other people having the face of his friend when he first met him?
No. So basically what he was saying is that there was someone else who can shapeshift but isn't a shifter that also has been having issues shapeshifting. And at one point he looked with the same face that his friend shifted into when he saw.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like there's maybe some spillover from some imposters. Something leaked out and is going crazy for all the people that have shape-shifting abilities then. Okay, I'm reading through all these.
Okay.
Dang, he does have a lot.
Yeah.
Did he just use any of these on himself? Does that explain why he is the way he is?
That memory dial is actually methamphetamine.
Yeah. Like,
How much for the glowing gemstone dice?
Oh, the dice.
And you're Dragonborn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like you. Well, 200.
I'll give you 50.
How about I give you 2 things for 400?
How much for this marble?
Oh, the marble? I don't know. A gold?
Sold.
Cool. There you go.
Myrtle wants the clockwork songbird.
Oh, pretty birdie, yes, I pounced on it.
He like holds it in his paws and kind of just stares at it for a little bit too long. And he's like,
do you have string?
Yes.
Okay.
and he just gives you the bird.
I give him 50 gold.
He takes it happily.
How much for the tarot cards?
Oh, tarot cards. They are in the how much you got?
I don't even. Oh, how much you want?
200.
100.
So,
Okay.
Has the magnetic compass rose been spoken for?
No, not yet.
How much is that going for?
400.
What about 200 minus 100?
No math.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. 150 it is.
Okay.
He looks very confused, but gives you the rose for 150.
All right.
All right. I'll give you 101 for the dice.
For the what?
The dice, the glowing gemstone.
That's more than 100. Okay.
Eustace feels bad and just gives him the full 200. 'Cause,
You don't have to.
this guy's an idiot. It's okay.
He tried to charge me $500 for an amulet.
It's a very useful amulet.
Yes, but still.
At this point, what I would like, so either Hollybrook or Myrtle, please give me a perception check.
Oh, we both have a +5.
Yeah.
Okay, with a 15. Myrtle, you're aware that a lot of the people in the crowd are vacating, not like evacuating, but they're very quickly leaving the street, and even some of the street vendors are like closing up a little quickly, but this guy doesn't seem to be aware.
Okay.
I'm not surprised on that.
I just start keeping watch.
Sure. You can see that at the very far end of the street, some city guards have started walking down the street towards where you guys are.
Okay. I tell the group quietly, we need to move on.
Well, I got my dice.
Yep, I'm good.
Any parting words with this cat?
I thank him for his service in helping his friend.
Pleasure doing business.
It's a pleasure.
My apologies if I made you nervous.
We need. I want to say that I want more NPCs like that, but I know it's gonna get old. You just need that little bit of spice.
So if allowed, we could do this all night.
Rip off a.
Yeah. Well, as you guys make your way away, what is your next steps? Any plans or any clues? Because you've talked to the friend, but it's...
I think we need to go find this Clay guy.
Yeah, the other
I-
shapeshifter. That's not a shifter. Sorry, go ahead.
But I was thinking, we know there's at least one shifter at the party last night. We can probably find the guest list of that party and just cross-reference that with known shapeshifters.
So you're
Find
just...
out.
You're not saying specifically a shifter, which that other guy was a shifter. You're just saying people who have the ability to shapeshift.
Right, yeah.
What do we call people that have the ability to shapeshift?
Oh,
Magicians.
yeah, there's spells like you can disguise yourself.
Polymorph.
Do we just say changers and then there's shifters, which is a subset of the changers? People that can shapeshift.
We think somebody's going to give us the guest list.
Yeah, how do we
Nobody's
get
going to give us
this?
the guest list because
Yeah.
we all had to wear masks. They didn't want anybody to know who was there.
Yeah.
Also, they might not have been on the guest list at all. They might have just walked in pretending
True.
to be people on the guest list.
Exactly. Right, because they look like us anyway.
What about Hollybrook? Could she go talk to a professor about this?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
And then some of us could go talk to the professor the other quest is for.
Sure. So it sounds like for both sides, you're going to end up going back to the academy, correct?
I think it's something worth pursuing to see if there is, something to look for that route.
Okay.
Like, what could cause this? Like, and it might give us a place to look.
Yeah, because the cat said the other person that could shapeshift. Let's track down. I would say a suggestion. We can track down them and see if we can draw any connections.
The cat said it was happening to other people who weren't shapeshifters.
That's what I mean. Like, let's track them down and see if their experience matches our clients. Because then we could maybe see if there's any patterns in it or anything like that. See if they also have abjuration magic on them. Or if it's like a natural phenomenon or something.
Then with that, would you like to kind of use this time to split up a bit and kind of just information gather individually?
Sure. I
Yeah.
think that's fine with me.
All right.
Sure.
So I think what we'll do is we'll wrap up here for tonight. Each of you will go individually. You'll all have a chance to get further information. And then when we gather together next time, we'll start with you disseminating your found knowledge. Thank you for listening to Remedial Adventuring. The intro-outro song is Thinking Doc by Anachronite, and our various ambient tracks are by Bardify. Our players have asked to remain anonymous, at least for now, but I have been your DM, Adam Souza. I'm putting together the next episode now, which should go live in about 2 weeks, so thanks again for listening, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah, how do you net one hygiene? Like...